the far-right party has suffered an unexpected upset. Dr. Romain Fathi from the Australian National University is in France following the results.
Well, these are very surprising results. A week ago, all the polls were indicating that the National Rally would come first quite significantly, and the National Rally came third. In other words, they just lost these elections. Not only they came third, but the left came first, which is also unexpected. So today you have the largest political party in the new House will be the left, the Nouveau Front, followed by President Macron's coalition, Ensemble, and then third, the National Rally. So those were quite unexpected results, to be honest.
And how are people reacting to that? I know we've seen big crowds in Paris.
Well, I think being in France at the moment, the first reaction was relief. You could really feel that tension coming down, the fear of the far right. The second emotion, I suppose, was joy for people from the left and the centre. And now the third emotion, now that these feelings have deflated, is what now? What are we going to do? How do you make a coalition government with people who traditionally don't really work together? So it's a bit of a roller coaster at the moment, and it isn't clear what the next French government will be. It will be left-leaning, but whether it will be a hard left or a soft Labour left ruling with Macron's coalition, that's going to be known within the next few days, possibly a few weeks, actually.
And with that question, what now? The Prime Minister to resign?
Yes, well, it's a constitutional convention. The Prime Minister has actually said already on national television that he will present his resignation to Emmanuel Macron. But Emmanuel Macron does not have to accept the resignation of the Prime Minister. In other words, what is likely to happen tomorrow is that the current Prime Minister, Gabriel Attal, will remain Prime Minister in caretaking mode for another few weeks, possibly until after the Olympics, unless Emmanuel Macron already has a plan and announce a Prime Minister tomorrow. But then that Prime Minister would not last because the National Assembly is going to meet on the 18th of July and would be able to veto the government. So in France, the President can dismiss the National Assembly, but in return, the National Assembly can dismiss the government.
Dr. Fathi, the results we've seen, has this come as a shock to the far right?
I suppose for your everyday far-right voter, yes, because the media have been telling them that the National Rally would do so well, so they would be disappointed. But anyone who knows the French political system, and in particular the political leaders of the National Rally, would know that this is not surprising. The French system and the electoral laws and the French Constitution and Fifth Republic are designed in a way that exclude extreme parties from the far left or the far right. It's a constitution designed for the moderate. And so although there have been a lot of people voting for the far right, it doesn't quite translate in seats of MPs in the Assembly. That may not seem really democratic from an Australian standpoint, but that's the way that the French system has been designed. They have lost, but in Marine Le Pen's mind, yes, it's a defeat, but they are still winning seats. They will go from about 80 seats to 140 to 155. It's unclear at the moment, but they are winning seats, so they're becoming a bigger political force.
There was anger at the President Emmanuel Macron for taking this gamble, calling this snap election. Has that anger subsided at all?
I don't think so. The anger has not subsided. On the one hand, President Macron's move to put the election to the people is very democratic. You know, the European elections showed that the French had moved toward the far right. And so he said, look, we need to realign national politics with what you've just voted in at European level. Let's have an election. It is a democratic move, but indeed, as you've pointed out, it is very risky. And it's not clear if he will go down in history as someone who just burned the house down or actually laid down the basis for a reconstruction with a bigger larger coalition from his centre and the moderate left and the moderate right. The next few weeks will be very important for him and for France, really.
Dr. Romain Fathi from the Australian National University in France, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.